This could be Void Spirit mid, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And so Lion and IO are the two supports. So do you think it is going to be the Lion in the off lane then with the OD, and then you put the
10
IO
seconds
maybe in the
remaining.
safe lane with something like a Luna or a Terrorblade?
5 seconds
I think so,
remaining.
yeah. Probably not a Terrorblade. I don't think that's a very good IO combination.
Mm.
But Luna is an option. Gyro is still in the pool as well. I feel like those are the
Radiant team
prime
back.
candidates. And Hydra do pick up the Wraith King, like you mentioned. So, very classic lane with the Apparition Wraith King.
Yeah, and so this then does excuse me, solidify the Kunkka in
10 seconds
the mid
remaining.
lane, and just an off laner to
5
pick here now for
seconds
Hydra.
remaining.
Unless
Yeah.
you want to run something funky like the Wraith King in the off lane.
Could even be
Dire
the
team
Kunkka in the
back.
off lane.
Yeah,
They
true.
have last pick. I've seen just as many Kunkka off lanes as Kunkka mids
Radiant
these
team
days.
back.
So then, but the Terrorblade's going to go though. CIS Reject's not going to be able to pick that one up.
Interesting.
They do
I mean,
still have the potential for a Phantom Lancer? Question mark.
I guess so. I mean, they don't have to pick like an
10 seconds
IO
remaining.
combination hero. They could just run it with the OD
5
Yeah.
seconds
and just
remaining.
ignore the fact that it's not really a great combination. But
Dire
IO
team
isn't
back.
gonna do that much anyway because of the Ancient Apparition. So I think it could actually be smart to just pick a hero that's good against Hydra instead of a hero that is good with your IO.
Do you have? Is there anything that you're looking at to fit in this the
10
CIS Rejects
seconds
draft then?
remaining.
Hmm.
5
PL looks
seconds remaining.
decent, like you said.
Radiant
Aside
team
from that,
back.
I'm not really sure. I don't think there is another clear hero that would instantly win against what Hydra has right now, especially because Hydra has last pick as well.
Yeah.
So you can't really go for a huge cheese pick
10
because
seconds
it can
remaining.
still be countered.
Yeah, and CIS Rejects thinking that
5
this is
seconds
still going to be
remaining.
the mid lane to be picked up, thinking this Kunkka might be in the off lane, banning out the Ember Spirit and the Bart Rider here. So CIS Rejects getting into the reserve time to think about this final pick. There is still a couple of heroes that we usually see on the board, like say like the Luna, like you were talking about in the last game. With the does a Phantom Assassin make sense here at all, or do you think it gets blown up by Hydra way too quickly?
Yeah, I wouldn't go for a PA here. It's kind of squishy and you want to have a bigger
Dire
hero that
team
can
pick.
take objectives. That's a bigger hero.
Okay, and Hydra now, like I say, CIS Rejects thinking it is going to be this mid hero. So looking at this entire lineup, for CIS Rejects, there are some strength to the late game, and that's the Medusa, like you say, the early game pressure coming from the OD. What do you want to be playing up against this Void Spirit in the mid
5
lane
seconds
to try and
remaining.
kind of make the difference here?
That's difficult because I think Kunkka is decent, but now with this Dusa, they have another big problem to deal with. I really wouldn't want to be in Hydra's position with this little reserve time. Invoker, was it banned?
You may now select your heroes.
I guess it was. They just pick up the offlane Lycan. Interesting.
But that,
Because they're just gonna double down on the pressure.
yeah, but that puts all three of your cores on melee range up against a Medusa, and even an OD for things like the Sanity's Eclipse. You know, that's risky, right? That's not just me seeing the worst of this draft. That's pretty risky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this Hydra draft. Both the Kunkka and the Wraith King want to be farming neutrals, and Lycan
10
at the same
seconds
time
remaining.
wants to be aggressive and push towers, but both Rubik and
5
Ancient
seconds
Apparition
remaining.
don't really do that, so I'm not a fan of this Hydra draft.
Okay, well, Zayat's the last to pick up the hero. We'll see if Hydra can use this unique draft, let's call it, to force through into a game number 3. But CIS Rejects for me, it just looks like the stronger draft. It looks like the more uniform, like the drafts that we see in every game that just kind of go on to stomp the match, like CIS Rejects did in the last game. You know, they have that momentum in the favor as well. So if they can use this to kind of get in HYDRA's mind, they can definitely win the second game, I think. CIS Rejects, they need this win as well. They need to, I suppose they don't need this specific win, but they need to win the series to force it through to the playoffs for the tiebreaker for Division 1. HYDRA, looking to secure their place, they need to win this game to make that happen, and then definitely win the next game as well, HYDRA. Maybe the Wraith King will be the difference. Maybe the Wraith King will be the conqueror of the last game and just be absolutely unstoppable coming into the mid to late game. We're going to find out in the second game, guys, as it gets underway.
You don't think the Kunkka will be the Kunkka of the second game?
No, because I don't think you give the farm priority to the Kunkka when the Wraith King, you know, wants to be looking for those items to get so far ahead.
Alright.
Maybe the Kunkka from this game will be the Kunkka from the last game. You know, you never know.
You heard it here first. Kunkka is not Kunkka.
Wraith King is the new Kunkka.
Prepare for battle.
As he gets carried out on his throne of bones.
Did I feel a prick in my joint?
They're gonna get a smoke going on the side of HYDRA as well. Maybe looking for a quick first blood. I suppose you can set up with the Wraith Fire Blast and the Tiebringer's already been picked up. Oh, FNG. Does he come up onto this high ground? Got to be careful. Gonna go for the Cliff Ward instead. And then just moves himself back.
Pasha has the crown and the 3 iron branches. Lots of attributes for him.
And when
30 seconds.
I suppose it is going to be FNG in this off lane with him, right? You know, you just move the IO with the Medusa and let them do their thing in the bottom lane. So, up against Ancient Apparition, who's already taken the Chilling Touch level 1. How can this lane play out here for the side of CIS Rejects? You know, how did they put the pressure onto Dream?
I mean, they don't really do much until
Battle begins.
there is a Meteor Hammer on Pasha.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be the plan here.
Okay. Well, Ramses
Ooh, triple rune for the rejects.
just needs someone to pick it up. It looks like it is going to be FNG after he gets the sentry down. No wards as far as I can see though for the side of HYDRA in this mid lane.
Yeah, mid lane wards are getting less and less popular because everyone just instantly dewards them.
Yeah,
Might as well just not get them.
I suppose when you're playing 2 melee heroes as well, you know, there's not really much range that you have to worry, or like, you know, many range skills that you need to worry about. As
Yeah, exactly.
Ramses in the bottom lane is going to be taking some harass from the wolves, but he even gets a spur hit there onto the wolf. And so this Medusa, we've seen, it's been a while since I've seen a Medusa, so is the skill build still you want to go for a couple of points into the Mystic Snake and then Mana Shield, and then you just pour everything into Split Shot?
Yeah. What I see most often is just 3 points in the snake and then maxing out the split shot
Yeah.
for maximum jungle efficiency.
Okay, well, Roger, he's going to have his work cut out for him here. It looks like keeping Ramses healthy, as Ramses... Mook is just sitting off to the side, throwing out as much harass as possible, level 1, with the Fade Bolt there as well. And you can see how much regen that they're already starting to go through here. IO even started with the headdress, just to try to keep the extra regen up here for Ramses in this lane.
Yeah, there is a good amount of pressure coming out from HYDRA, but ultimately, I don't think they can really keep this up. Once Dusa gets a few more levels, it's gonna be so hard to stop her from just instantly killing the wolves. And I don't think Lycan can really survive that well in this lane, even with the Helm of Iron Will. She's just gonna get harassed out.
They cancel the last of the salve there as well. So do you think that Blizzy he's just getting a little bit of XP on this lane and then he just moves himself into the his triangle, or does he look to try and put pressure on other lanes? You know, what's the plan here for this Lycan? Because he
I
talks
think
about...
he needs to stay on lane, but it's just gonna be rough.
So, do you just wait it out then until the Medusa goes into the jungle?
Kinda, yeah. And then once you get Age of the D, Helm of the Dominator, you can start exerting a bit of pressure again.
Yeah.
But even then, it's just kind of non-ideal. But hey, what can you do? You can't really jungle because then you give complete free farm to the Dusa and you don't want that. You're gonna lose your tier 1 and everything's gonna be terrible and you're gonna get kicked from your team, so you don't want to do that.
I mean, that is the worst case scenario just for losing the lane. Yeah, I don't think they'll go as far as kicking Blizzy from the team, but he's got to be on his best behavior.
Yeah, for sure.
As a fade
You've never been kicked because you lost a lane?
I've never been on a team. Oh, you think I play, anywhere near competitive Dota?
Of course. How else could you cast this?
It is true. You need to be the absolute peak of Dota to be able to talk about what's happening on screen. And speaking about what's happening on screen, Dream is going to be taking a lot of harass. The Earth Spike did come through. Pasha going to be taking shots against Dream here as well. So the OD build here, is it just... What is the OD build? Because, I mean, I see it a lot, but sometimes you see points going into the Arcane Orb, sometimes points into the Astral Imprisonment. Which way does Pasha want to be going in this game?
You certainly want to have 3 points of Astral Imprisonment once you get your Meteor Hammer. Because then you can set it up easily. I don't think 2 points in Q is really worth it, because it just reduces the cooldown a little bit, and you want to make sure that as soon as you get the Meteor Hammer that you have the appropriate Astral points.
Okay.
And then you have people who leave Astral Imprisonment at level 3, which could have 2 reasons. The first reason is, if you cast a level 3 Astral Imprisonment and you immediately throw out the Meteor Hammer, it's faster. You don't have to wait as long for the Meteor Hammer to connect, and the enemy supports have less time to come in.
FNG gets
see
taken down.
FNG go down, so it's gonna fall too. The other reason is some people can't time it with 4 points in Astral Imprisonment, so that is like the smooth-brained reason for not maxing out Astral. Just keep in mind, if you have Meteor Hammer in level 4 Astral Imprisonment, start casting the Meteor Hammer once the little debuff timer has reached the H of Banished.
Okay.
And you're gonna have it perfectly timed every single time.
Well, I'll keep that in consideration when I start to go back into my ranked games, playing that off-lane hero. Just spamming the OD for easy MMR. At least until the patch comes out.
So that was the end of my monologue about OD skill builds and gameplay.
Thank you for the TED Talk, and we'll keep it on board. I'm
Just
sure...
send me a DM on Twitter if you want more. I'll type like 6 paragraphs. No problem.
This bottom lane, just coming back to this now as well, Ramses is level 5, so he's got the 3 points into the Snake, the 1 point into the Mana Shield now as well. Do you pick up the Stone Gate? Like, is Stone Gate one of those that you pick up, like a Luna, you pick it up around level 11, level 12, or does he want that early point into the Stone Gates for anything here on Ramses?
Nah, you just get it once you expect fights to happen. And at level 6, you generally don't fight on Dusa.
Yeah. Well, Muka in the mid lane, he's going to be under a little bit of pressure here now as well. Will be found out. X marks the spot, comes up, but Muka will already be taken down. Is the bow going to be enough to take down? He should be able to get the kill onto IO here. Roger, no! The tether away. He's going to be able to salve up now as well, but the cleave comes through from the Kunkka. So maybe the Kunkka from last game is the Kunkka in this game there too.
Kunkka is Kunkka.
Once again, Kunkka is Kunkka. As Asgold steps forward onto the Preskid. I suppose the Preskid's having an alright time in this lane, purely because he has the point into that resonant pulse with the physical shield. Because Asgold's Tidebringer is still physical as well. That damage is physical, so if you can, it's not really dodging it off. It's just trying to stop it from happening in the first place here for the Preskid. Do they want to be able to come in? Earth Spike, it was just out of range. It's only level 2. So Asgold going to be able to walk himself away from that lion.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, and the Meteor Hammer is out for Pasha, so this is around the time where I would expect Dream to start going into the jungle. Which kind of sucks, because then you're gonna lose your tier 1, but hey, at least you get some farm.
Yeah. Zayats as well, does he just play it behind the tower? Is he just trying to soak as much XP as possible then if Dream goes into the jungle, or do you think
Yep.
he moves off to other lanes?
I mean, he just wants to pick up some of the XP and maybe like drag away some creeps.
Mm.
But it's really no fun for an ancient apparition.
Yeah, I suppose, like you say, he wants to be hitting these creeps. He wants to be hitting as a level 6 as quickly as possible, which is just going to be a bit of a pain because Pasha will potentially be able to go for a solo kill on the AA if he gets caught out of position.
Yeah. Meteor Hammer is so much damage.
Do you think that gets nerfed then in the next patch? Do you think it's high time the Meteor Hammer goes bye-bye for a few games?
I think something is gonna change about it. It's either gonna get removed or it's like gonna be built into OD's kit because he's like the only hero that buys this item.
Yeah.
Dire's middle
God,
tower
removed.
is
I
under
wasn't
attack.
thinking about going that far, but does that just kill the hero then? If Meteor Hammer gets nerfed, does that just make OD completely unplayable?
I don't think the item as a whole is gonna get nerfed just because it's only bought on one hero.
Yeah.
It's just a sign that something about the design is wrong. Either with OD or with the item, and probably with the item, and I can't really think of a great way to change it.
Mm.
Which makes me think that it's gonna get removed, and yeah. We'll see, we'll see.
Okay.
Of course, we're just inhaling some copium because a patch is never gonna come, obviously.
This is it now, yeah, we're stuck on this patch until the end of Dota as the tier 1 will go down. Prescott has moved himself up as well, just to see if anybody was trying to defend this, but nobody will show. And Pasha, well, he's getting the farm. Looking at the mid lane now as well, Ramses has moved himself into this mid lane, so it gives a free lane over to the Lycan, as well as Kunkka moves down, looking towards the tier 1 tower, trying to trade this off. It's going to be a little bit slow without Meteor Hammer of their own here on the side of HYDRA, but eventually it should fall.
It's a nice tower trade there. And this is such a nice time to play an OD. Because no one can contest here. And this is like the one time in the game where you can truly free farm.
And yeah, I mean, Dream's going to be moving back up to the tier 2, I guess, maybe to just de-push this lane. And you can see that, like you say, that Pasha in the jungle, he's not scared at all. Okay, FNG's close as well, so FNG's going to be able to back him up. He's got himself a tome coming out on FNG as well, so going to get close to having the finger to maybe set up for some extra kills here for Pasha. But yeah, no, Pasha's, like you say, he's not even bothered about looking to put pressure on other lanes. He's just solely looking to get his 8th lens up into the Blink Dagger, and then maybe he starts to look to team fight with the rest of his team.
Yeah, and OD's defensive potential in this game is really impressive. Like, just saving someone from the X is gonna be really huge.
Yeah, true. And being able to, do you think at any point then he goes for the shot, or is this just going to be if they take Roshan they get the shot?
I think at some point you can buy the shard if you want to, but it's not a priority.
Yeah.
Even from the Roche, you would probably rather give it to someone like the Dusa or the IO.
Top lane, they might be able to set up onto the Wraith King. Wraith King's going to throw the Wraith Fire Blast out. The Tumbler Toy going to be used here by OD, and it looks like FNG doesn't want to move himself in to help contest. I mean, Wraith King has that reincarnate, so it would mean that you'd have to go through him twice, which maybe the CIS rejects at the minute don't feel confident at doing, as the rest of HYDRA group up in this mid lane trying to take this tier 1 tower out and away from the side of CIS rejects. How's Medusa doing? Okay.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Dusa doing Dusa things. Has the Manta up at 12 minutes. Decent timing. I'm gonna be going for a Skadi.
Dire's bottom tower is
Straight in, yeah. And does Ramses want to be going for the BKB, or does he go back for a Dragon Lance? You know, what does the Medusa want really in this match want to be building into?
At some point, I would expect to see a BKB,
Yeah.
but only if she gets behind. And for now, she's doing really well for herself. So something like Skadi into Butterfly is going to be really difficult to deal with.
Hmm. Yeah, true, true. It would force out, because I don't think the Wraith King really wants to be built into an MKB at any point this game, right? Well, and then setting him on
Certainly not.
this path, yeah, it really does mess with the itemization of Dream.
And same for Ascult and Blizzy. They also don't want to buy MKBs.
Yeah, and Asgold here, he's just going to be going straight for the BKB. And so what's the timing for HYDRA then? Do they need to be, I mean, do they need to like get the BKB on the Wraith King? He's going to be going for a Blink Dagger actually. You know, when do they need to look to fight to maybe put the pressure on CIS rejects?
I think the Blink for Wraith King is a good timing, or potentially the BKB for the Kunkka.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a huge catalyst for them. Like, just being able to win fights against an OD with a Media Hammer and like a Void Spirit jumping at you. Just having the BKB on Kunkka is so huge.
Okay. And the smoke's going to come through here from the side of HYDRA, so they might look to put some pressure. They could go for the OD. The OD is alone here, pushed up way far out from his tier 1, but it looks like they're actually looking for the Medusa. Medusa, though, on the other side of the jungle. As Ramses... He's going to be fine. It looks like the OD might TP back into... Not even going to be into trouble. He's just going to move himself back. Yeah, they can sense that there's heroes missing on the map, and everybody on CIS Rejects just wants to play it safe. You know, you can see that the protection is around the Medusa. The OD's coming back. You know, he doesn't want to be playing too far forward and get caught out. Only really Depressed Kid, because Depressed Kid has pretty much... He is literally an escape artist. It's built into his kit that you just run away, and you run away so easily unless you get completely, like, chain locked down.
Yep. There is only the instant disable from Rubik that could be difficult to deal with. Things like Wraith Fire Blast should be easy to dodge. Dream, of course, is gonna have a Blink Dagger soon, though. It's gonna make it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, and it looks like the rest of the HYDRA... Oh, Askel gets scouted up by the Illusions here, and that Manta Style already coming in super useful here from Medusa, who just moves over to the top lane. Going to continue farming this one out, and again, look at the net worth here for Ramses. Top of it, about 2k ahead of the Wraith King. And that farm is just going to carry on going.
Golden Astral.
I think he'll be able to do the damage though. The torrent does come through. Bolt doesn't connect actually because the Astral gets saved by the OD saving himself. Fade Bolt gets used. X marks the spot. Is here. Pasha is going to be able to get himself away from this. The regen from Roger not going to be enough. And Roger is just going to relocate on the spot. But there's not going to be any follow-up here. As... Okay, HYDRA get themselves a decent kill. Move themselves down towards the bottom lane here. Depressed Kid pops himself up. Is he going to be able to get himself away? Does have that one walk. If he needs to move himself out with the Astral Step.
Depressed Kid needs to be a little bit careful here. He has 2 jumps now, as well as a Dissimulate.
So going to be able to use that Dissimulate though. The backlines, they're going to be able to lock down the Rubik. Maybe X marks the spot, comes out onto FNG. FNG not having a great time. Maybe it's just Lions in general that don't really have a good time in the game at the minute.
That could be, yeah.
So... The tier 2 tower is going to be pressured here from HYDRA. They have a really good timing with the Lycan. Asgold moved himself up to the top lane with this X marks the spot, trying to stop this push in from the side of CIS Rejects. Torrent isn't going to connect. And X marks the spot. Will drag him back towards the bottom lane. As the tier 2 tower does go the way, Blizzy picks that one up. So really nice timing there from the side of HYDRA to get aggressive before the Medusa wants to fight.
Yeah, and Asgold is going for more of an early game build as well. There is no armlet, and he's going for a Heaven's Halberd immediately after the BKB.
Stolen imprisonment.
They don't want to take this late. They want to make sure that they shut down the Dusa before she reaches that really scary timing.
So, yeah, I mean, Ramses, Is it greedy to go to the Skadi second item after a Manta style?
No, I think it's pretty much standard.
Okay.
Going for a butterfly would be greedy. Just Skadi gives you so much tankiness.
Yeah.
Because Dusa really benefits really well from every single stat.
What popped though? Looks like it's into the Roche pit here for HYDRA. It was the Roshan Lickers that popped. That makes sense. Yeah. So HYDRA. Nebraska's going to know this is going on now. They get the Remnant into it. That spike comes through onto Dream as well. So Dream is being controlled. Roshan, it's not going to be the quickest in the world, but Odie isn't around. So I wonder if CIS Rejects are actually going to dive in, try and contest this. It looks like they're just going to give it up to the side of HYDRA, just letting this early game timing go the way of HYDRA at the minute. Asgold gets himself an Aegis. He might even be able to get contested. There's going to be the early warning system from the Illusions, as the Illusions just continue to farm, not really being bothered about Dream moving to contest. And you can see already Ramses as well as Roger move themselves away. Is he going to be able to get that relocate out? Where is he? He's in the trees, so he should be able to get that TP away. Yeah, he's going to be fine.
Has been killed.
Or he's just going to sit in the trees and wait.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Arcane power.
So Ascult does have Heaven's Hall with money.
Spike.
Is gonna get caught here.
Sinus Eclipse comes up. Blizzy will go down, gets popped in the middle of the shapeshift, but Prescott can he get himself away what was stolen? It's going to be the Dissimulate. So,
Dire's bottom
an
tower
alright
is under
pickup
attack.
there for Muka, but probably wanted the Astral Step or maybe even a Remnant for himself.
Dire's current has been killed.
Spike connects onto the Rubik now. The Remnant, he might get a chance to take it though. Is Depressed going to be able to get himself away? The Astral Imprisonment is going to guard against the boat, and then the Dissimulate comes out once again. So Depressed gets down to the low ground, and even the Bullwhip from Pasha, just to offer a little bit more protection there for Depressed Kid. Is that the Scotty? It is the Scotty up now for Ramses as well. So even got an extra 1100 gold. The fight's going to break out. Who are they going to be able to pick up? Astral Imprisonment comes out from Muka trying to save out the Wraith King. Wraith King's going to throw the Wraith Fire Blasters. It is going to be the kill there onto the Rubik. Is there going to be the chaser? Was that Remnant's going to be up in 2 seconds? Do they have enough to take down Dream twice? It looks like they might. The Remnant does get dropped with the Dissimulate. Ice Blast comes through onto the Preskin, but the Astral Imprisonment might be enough to save his life. Stone Gaze is going to be used, but that was after the Wraith King does go down. To get the kill onto Zayats, and Asgold at least survives with the Aegis intact, but that's going to be 4 heroes dying on the side of HYDRA, and all of a sudden CIS Rejects back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, the Rejects just have such a nice read on what they need to do at which point in the game. Like, they know they don't have to be super aggressive because they skill better than HYDRA, but at the same time they see HYDRA overextending a little bit, and they immediately capitalize with 5 heroes, no hesitation.
Well, Muka is back, so hopefully this game can get underway. Yeah, and so is this now CIS Rejects? Do they want to be starting to group up as 5, or is the Medusa still going to be found up, looking for the next couple of items? What's the game plan from CIS Rejects here? Because they have lost a lot of map control, losing the tier 2 tower on the bottom lane, losing the tier 1 in the mid, giving up the Roshan as well. So what can CIS Rejects do to kind of capitalize on that last fight?
At the moment, there is nothing they really need to do. They can just go for some D-Voids and keep farming with the Dusa. Because Dusa's like this ticking time bomb that HYDRA doesn't really have an answer for.
Dire's middle tower
Well,
is under
we'll
attack.
see what they can do in terms of... I mean, with HYDRA being forced, but you talked about this in the draft, this has got to feel bad, right? Lycan as well as Asgold as well. Dream when he comes back alive. All just want to be farming this jungle, right? They want to be maybe pushing out lanes occasionally, which Blizzy can do with the Wolves as well as whatever he gets on the Helm of the Overlord. But it's still a very greedy lineup here from HYDRA. So what? Oh, in fact, Blizzy might be caught out. The Earthspike does come through now as well. Do they have the damage to take him down? The Lycan will be slain.
Yeah, this Lycan has felt so useless this game. He's 0-2-0. I feel like his hero damage is gonna be like 3000 max. Just feels really bad to be Lycan.
Yeah, he ain't liking this match so far.
Eee.
You've always got to use it. It's a really lazy pun, but you know you've got to use it when the opportunity presents itself.
Mm-hmm.
As
It's like saying that something is not, you know, the dream game for a dream.
exactly. Or Afterlife sends somebody to the afterlife.
Yep. Oh, this is awful.
But yeah, Ramses, it looks like he's just going to go straight butterfly. He's already got himself the Eagle Song picked up. So this is going to be BKB-less for now here on the Medusa. And, well, Hydra, they've got the smoke up. Are they going to look for the push in? It looks like FNG might be the ones to get caught out. Wraith Fire Blast comes in with that blink, and FNG just has to stand and take it. But that's only a line. He's dead for 30 seconds. And like you said in the last game, it rather the line than anybody else, as Depressed moves himself through the trees. So it does. I mean, Dream is going to go back now for the BKB. It looks like he's looking to push that way after the Desolator. Yeah, but if he wanted the Desolator, does he just buy that straight out now for the fights? It looks like he is going to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you just buy a BKB, then there is no way you ever kill Dusa or anyone in general. So you're gonna be immune for 9 seconds, but no one is gonna die in those 9 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. And now just going back to farm and trying to catch up with the Dusa just keeps extending the lead. 5k ahead at the minute. It's just... You see CIS Rejects a little bit of a repeat of last game here with Ramses just being given all the space in the world to find farm. And how do you actually, if you were to get in, how would you actually deal with this Medusa at the minute? Because that's nearly, effect. I think it's the full butterfly being finished off in the next, what, 300 gold?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, personally, how I would deal with the Dusa is draft differently. Because this kind of lineup really doesn't pressure her that well. They can't invade a jungle, the lineup is really slow, like they don't have the mobile heroes to maneuver around her. They cannot force a push because they're all like melee committee type pushers, where they actually have to run into melee range and hit the tower, as opposed to heroes like Pagna or Visage that can just siege from a distance.
Yeah.
So it's just a really difficult position to be in for HYDRA, because they don't scale better, but they also really struggle with extending their map control. So they need to hope that they can somehow win like the next 2 to 3 fights and then get like a 10 to 15k gold lead, and then they can really threaten to actually win this game, because right now they're not losing it, but they're definitely not winning.
Conker moves himself away, doesn't get caught in the remnant though, didn't have to use the BKB either, which is going to be a nice little bonus here for Asgold. He's actually gone into the Heaven's Harbour for the Conker, so I guess that's just going to be used on the Medusa at the beginning of the fights, you know, trying to stop the extra damage coming through from that hero once the fights do break out.
Yep. It's really nice for both the Dusa and the OD.
Speaking of Odie, we've not checked in with him recently. He's gonna go for the BKB next. Got that Blink Dagger as well as the Aether Lens up. Oh, Asgold though. Is he gonna be able to get himself away from this? He's used the X-Mark spot. Already gonna be dragged back into the run. Pops up BKB, but it looks like is Depressed gonna be able to get himself away from this. Ramses just wants to come in. The boat is gonna be used now. They do have a lot of damage over to the Void Spirit. Void Spirit should pop as the Sandy's Eclipse does come out. But yeah, Muka will be able to get that with the Fade Ball. A couple of ultimates used there from the side of HYDRA, but a really nice pickup onto the Void Spirit.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely needed something like this for HYDRA. Roche is not gonna be up for another minute, so it's not gonna help them with an objective, but it's still just a nice pick-off.
Yeah, and Muka even going to be able to use the Resonant Pulse to try and clean up those Medusa illusions. But yeah, at least 39 seconds before the Roshan is back alive. And, well, is that kind of what HYDRA have to... They need to win that, right? There's no way they can give that up to CIS Rejects. They need to take control of the pit once the Roshan is back up.
Yep. If CIS Reject gets the Aegis, it's so difficult for HYDRA to do anything. Even more difficult than it currently is.
Okay, well, Void Spirit, he's got himself... It looks like he's going to be going towards an E-Blade here for the Void Spirit. So that's going to be some blow-up potential for Depresskid. If he gets the back lines, if he gets onto the Rubik, if he gets onto the AA, you know, that's going to be really nice. Or do you want to throw this out into the Wraith King to stop him from throwing these right clicks in the fight?
And that's the beauty of the item. You can do both. I mean, not at the same time, obviously, but depending on the situation. If you want to blow up a support, it just gives him extra burst damage, and if someone is blowing up your supports, you can just E-blade them.
Yeah, true. And Depresskid, he's doing alright in terms of farm as well, but Ramses is still right at the top, and Ramses even going to be going towards an MKB of his own. Or do they have the jump to get, do they have the vision to get the Astral Imprisonment here onto the Kunkka? It's going to be the BKB going to be used though, so the Meteor Hammer not going to take effect. Bow going to be thrown out with the AAU Ice Blast. The Ice Blast effect probably not even needed to finish off that kill. But Ramses, Telekinesis comes out, so he is going to be controlled in these fights, and this is where not having the BKB isn't going to come in handy for him. Pops that Manta Style, still going to get caught in the torrent though. Ramses, is he going to just try and turn and burn onto this? Another Astral Imprisonment coming through from the Rubik though. Depresskid's going to get the kill onto Nuka, so no more Astral Imprisonments coming through from the side of HYDRA. Dream, he's going to get the kill onto FNG, but did he want to try and fight onto this? Ramses is still going to be controlled, but he's throwing out these right clicks. Reincarnation comes out for the Wraith King now. Ramses, is he just going to try and run himself away? Stone Gaze, but he's going to be stunned up himself. Looks like Depresskid diving onto the backlines. Is he going to be able to get the kill onto Blizzy? Blizzy's going to get really down low. Ramses once again just going to stand and fight. Potentially, Depresskid gets himself a double kill here. Ramses will be killed off FNG. Trying to get himself away to Depresskid as well, but Dream blink forward, cleans up the Lion. X marks the spot here for Depresskid. Has that dissimulate, so he's going to be able to dodge off the X mark. Astral Step as well. Is he going to be able to get himself away? Random comes out. In fact, he might actually come back. No, not going to go back onto Dream, and Dream's going to tick down low Depresskid. Not looking for that TP out just yet. Does he step into two? Torrent isn't going to connect. Dissimulate's going to come forward now as well. Doesn't want to hang around too long here because Muka is going to come back. Dream's going to get low. Another Spirit Vessel comes out. Dream pops that BKB, so maybe acting as a little bit of bait. But Pasha, Astral Imprisonment comes out. Going to be able to dodge off the boat. Dream still hanging around here. Depresskid is going to be able to get himself away with that Dissimulate. Mid-swing there from Dream, but Depresskid with the Dissimulate gets himself out alive.
But in that fight, HYDRA did exactly what they had to do. Just constantly keep spamming the cold feet on the Dusa, Torrents. Just make sure that she can't move and kill off the entirety of her team. And then you can start trying to take down Ramses. And this is where you kind of regret not buying a BKB as like a fourth item on Dusa, because she just gets kited so hard. She's gonna finish this MKB, and then I think it's quite likely that she buys a BKB next.
Yeah. And level 20 as well, so gonna go for the 30% Mystic Snake mana gain, so that's gonna add to the survivability, which is gonna be quite nice. And yeah, so I am expecting a BKB to come out next there as well. Yeah, it is just like you said, that last fight, Ramses was just completely controlled through it and absolutely manhandled once the rest of CIS Rejects was cleaned up.
Yep. Also, it's worth mentioning that Ramses at 29 minutes has almost 500 CS.
That's...
So I'm not sure what he had for breakfast, but there is some creep killing formula in that for sure.
He's definitely at his Weetabix, yeah. Asgold as well. He's built into the AC, so like you said, it's a less greedy build here for the Kunkka. It is going to be the Satanic Next, which will offer a bit more survivability, but for the most part, this is the build that you were expecting, right? That benefits the team more than the Kunkka itself.
Asgold is still doing really well in this Kunkka. He's not last game's Kunkka, but he is this game's Kunkka, and that is fine. 5-0-3, just having a good time.
Oh, look at this. Ramses already inside the Roshan pit here. There's going to be a 4-man smoke, but do they know this is going on? They do have vision just outside of the pit, so maybe, but...
To hurry up, though.
Yeah, they need to get themselves in there. There's an Ice Blast if they want to start this one off. Ramses has to back himself away because there is going to be a move in now from HYDRA. Roche so low, though. Either team would be loving to get into this pit to finish off the kill onto the big man. So Ramses gonna go back in. They see the wolf as well. They're gonna be able to de-ward that wolf. Torrent
What they want to do here on HYDRA. Need to make up their minds soon.
Yeah. I mean, the skeletons are just going to be easily cleaned up as well. That's absolutely nothing for Ramses to deal with. The torrents, it looks like they're going to try and maybe catch out Ramses, but the rest of the team, Stonegaze comes in. He's just going to use it. Oh, Dream's going to try and blink himself in there. The telekinesis, is it going to be enough?
It's on the floor.
It's going to be on the floor. Yeah, Dream doesn't actually pick it up. Asgold's going to be the one to get it. The chase is on now. Really good control coming out from the side of Hydra to force the Medusa outside of that Roshan pit. Ice Blast is going to be used. If it connects, it's going to be connected onto 3 heroes now as well. Only comes through onto the Medusa, though, it looks like, because everyone else was dead or moved out of the way. FNG's Invis in that Shadow Amulet. Do they have enough control to take down Ramses? Finger of Death actually pops the Aegis. Depressed Kid, though. What can he do? These illusions from the Medusa trying to do the best to try and harass out on the back line. It looks like Dream, though, wants to blink himself forward. There's going to be the blink away from Pasha.
Ew. That was such a risky commitment from Ramses, using the Stone Gaze to try and finish off Roche. And the moment he popped the Stone Gaze, we immediately saw the boat coming out. Asgold is like, alright, seems good to me.
Yeah. Who got
Once again, the lack of BKB hurting Ramses there.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been an easy finish for Roche if he'd have had the BKB, because he wouldn't have been able to be, you know, telekinesed out and, like you say, boat control and... Oh, Depressed Kid gets the kill onto Blizzy. So yeah, no, like you were expecting, Ramses, he's saying enough's enough now. He's going to go right back for that. In fact, I say right back, he's going to be able to finish it off, what, with the next couple of waves?
His farm has slowed down a little bit over the past few minutes, just because he had to, like, do objectives. But yeah, sometimes you have to do that as a carry, and it sucks every single time.
Yeah, you just want to be wrapped in your comfortable last hit and blanket. You know, you want to play PvE till at least the 50-minute mark as a position 1. I know how position 1s play, yeah.
Anything under 900 GPM is a disgrace to your family.
Asgold's going to show onto the illusions if they blink forward, because there's going to be the smoke here. So the Earth Spike to start off now as well. Do they have the damage to take down the Kunkka? They absolutely do. FNG finishing that one with a finger kill. Is that his third? So the third stack on the Finger of Death. And this is going to be a tier 2 tower now as well, going the way of CIS rejects.
The first death of Asgold. He already died more than Ramses died last game.
33 minutes in though, that's good going for the Kunkka.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But now Ramses feeling confident with this BKB, just walking up to the high ground, trying to go on the back line. So did they have to kill onto the IO? There's going to be the Ice Blast coming through now as well. Astral Imprisonment might be able to save the IO's life. It will save Roger for a little bit. There's going to be the Reincarnation backlines. The dive comes through. Both Ramses is going to be using that Stone Gaze. Dream is just absolutely hunting down. Do they have enough save though? Roger is going to be able to get himself back to the Medusa. And they could try and turn this one around. Asgold, that's going to be the BKB. Can they do anything? Because they've already taken down the Depressed Kid. The death of the IO just come through now. Ramsey's going to try and run himself away. Pops his own BKB. Or at least does he want to try and go into this? He's going to be to relocate here from IO. Putting pressure. Depressed Kid comes in with him now as well. The E-Blade onto the Kunkka. To get the kill onto the Kunkka. That's going to be a dieback there from him. And now Depressed Kid. Is it going to be another dieback here coming through on this fight? Depressed Kid trying to get himself away. Roger doesn't actually tether to him and keep him alive. Okay, bit of a choice there. Backlines, they take down Blizzy as well. Sanity's eclipsed. Odie proving that he's smarter than the average wolf.
That's very nice to know.
I mean, some wolves are clever. Just not that one.
True. So CIS Reject is gonna be able to, I would say, take that fight. They got the racks. They got a buyback trade of 2 for 2. Not too bad either, but the important thing is that Dusa is still alive and she's coming for your buildings.
Yeah, has that BKB over the next 15 seconds as well. Mantis Star going to be used for the extra aggression onto this, and with the Kunkka being down now for 58 seconds, what can HYDRA do to kind of delay this till they can get back to full strength?
I mean, they can just keep spamming their spells. Both Ice Vortex and Cold Feet are really good depushing tools.
The back line, they found Dream. He's going to go down once. Can they make it a second time now as well? Dream popped his own BKB. Looks like Ramsey's not going to be able to slow him down with the right-click Stream. Just, again, the Throne of Bones carries him away. But Ramses, that's a double damage rune. There's going to be 33 seconds as well until the Void Spirit's back up. Ramses showing no signs of slowing down with his pressure.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's going to be the shard coming out from him. He's just brought that one up. It's coming through on his courier now as well. So, going to add to the survivability here with the Mystic Snake that's going to bounce out anytime he's targeted every 12 seconds. Are they really okay? Are they going to be able to catch anyone out here? Ramses with the double damage. It's going to be the Astral Imprisonment coming through from the Rubik once again. Really likes to steal that spell, but it looks like it's going to shut Ramses down for a little bit. Dream, he has that Reincarnate coming up in the next 7 seconds as well, so he just needs to survive through this for a little bit longer. As FNG Invis Dream, is he going to reveal here that Silver Edge going to be wearing off momentarily, though? He might be able to get the kill. It just one-shots the Lion.
And I love all of the Astrals coming out. OD has 2 of them. Rubik has a really long one. So everyone is just constantly banished. Oh, there we have another one. Very nice.
Yeah, me too. Hammer Dream's going to try and blink himself in with the BKB, though. Ramses is going to be able to try and outfight this with the Manta Style. They already blow up the OD. OD's going to buy back. How quickly can he get back into this fight with the TP in, though? Stone Gaze is going to be used, and the BKB going to be held by Medusa. Ramses just wants to play this one safe, backing himself away. X marks the spot, immediately drags him back. There's going to be the Remnant up onto the high ground, though. Dream blinks in. He's going to be able to blow up the IO. The Ice Blast going to be able to do work. That's going to be the death of the IO. He's already brought back in that last fight. Dream, though, still surviving through. Sanity Eclipse gets dropped. That's going to be the Reincarnation coming through. E-Blade there onto Askell. Askell has to pop that BKB. Do we have enough to fight this one through? Because the OD doesn't want to die. He's already bought back. Doesn't want to be committing to a dieback here.
It's worth noting that Dusa is so incredibly squishy because Rubik stole 1400 mana with Astrals.
Stolen 30. Yeah, that's just... Holy crap. And OD's going to be a little bit better on giving that away. I mean, but you can't really cast anything else. Unless you want to drop your Sanity's Eclipse, it's going to be an easy steal on the Astral Imprisonment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Essence Flux no longer inactive, so it's one of the easiest and one of the best spells to steal on Rubik.
Though speaking of, he did get that Sanity's Eclipse after it was used.
I mean, it's pretty shit.
I mean, you're fairly... No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, no, it is actually pretty bad. Because...
He has like 300 more mana than the lowest one on CIS rejects. So it basically just deals the base damage.
Yeah, it isn't great. I was still thinking it was going back to the int multiplier, but it's not. It is the mana multiplier that makes it a strong spell at the minute. And yeah, unless you can get some Astrals off and then steal the Sanity's Eclipse back, yeah, not super great.
If you have enough APM, you can Sanities and then before it goes off, steal 2 spells and imprison 2 people.
I
You
would
need,
pay
like,
to
a
see
really
that.
good
Yeah.
gaming chair for that one.
As Kunkka, he's got that Reaver queued up. What's the other 2 items? Okay, yeah, so it is going to be the Satanic here. Askell. It's going to take him a little bit of extra time because he did have to buy back a couple of fights ago, but he is still going to be going towards the Satanic. Roche as well. It's going to be another long one. This Roshan going to be down for another minute and 49 seconds. But you can see both teams, they're kind of predicting this Roshan to come up anytime soon, and they are starting to move around this part of the map, you know, trying to control this one out.
Mm-hmm. And every time I think, hey, I wonder if Ramses has a new item.
He does.
He already finished it and is working towards the next one. He has almost 800 CS right now. He's gonna breach the 1000 before 50 minutes.
Okay, and what do you think he goes for next? Is it just maybe the Aghanim's Blessing, or is it a Moon Shard? You know, because he's already pretty much 6-slotted. There's not a lot that you want to replace here.
I think first Aghanim's Blessing and then the Moon Shard, and potentially just replacing one of his expensive items, because that's what carries do.
Yeah, I suppose you could pocket a Refresher for a second Stone Gaze.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We'll see.
yeah. I mean, compared to... Dream has started to keep pace now. He's 10k behind, but he's not... It doesn't seem like he's fallen too far short of that. That seems like, you know, the distance between... Because, I mean, Medusa is, like you say, he's still going to be hitting the creeps, but really doesn't need to prioritize hitting the creeps. Unless you need buyback, which I suppose Medusa really does. Only just hit the buyback threshold there in terms of gold.
Yeah, it's so expensive.
3k buyback cost. Yeah, that's... It's a pretty penny. It's Dream coming through the smoke, but the Astral Imprisonment is going to come out as the smoke breaks. Is he going to be able to get himself away? Relocate comes back though. This is going to put Medusa in a little bit. It's going to put him in all 4 heroes' path on the side of HYDRA. Or is that going to put all 4 heroes in the path of Ramses? Ramses wants to come into this. There's going to be the Ice Blast. Roger's going to be able to move himself away from this. Depresskid already gets the kill onto Zayats. Now the blow-up's coming through. They take down Mook at the backline, so Depresskid, he's going to have to Astral Step himself away. Blizzy, with a Shapeshift, he's going to try and move away from Depresskid, because Depresskid's picked up a good couple of kills on this Lycan. As the Stone Gauge will be used, Asgold trying to get himself out, but Ramses with the Swift Blink will just be able to maneuver in front. Not going to stop the TP though.
Ooh. The Stone Gaze just expired. If only he took the 2-second Stone Gaze duration at level 20, which is usually like the worst talent in the game.
So, Roche, it's going to be started. It is going to be with a refresher shot here from the Roshan. And with 2 heroes down on the side of HYDRA and an Aegis, this has got to be where CIS Rejects look to close this one out, right? They can't possibly look for a better power spike than this.
Yeah, the Dusa has like no room to grow, so this is kind of the point where you want to try to finish. Of course, OD can still get like 2 extra items, Void Spirit still has a slot, but ideally you want to start finishing.
Dream's going to dive into the backline. Roger, the last imprisonment comes out. There's no Ice Blast for at least the next 3 seconds. Dream is going to be able to get himself away from this. Roger's going to get pretty darn low, but he's going to be able to eat that cheese. Depresskid on the backlines gets the kill onto Blizzy. Dream needs to run himself away from this, but he's going to be slowed down here by the mana drain. Ramses, he just changes his mind. He's going to go back for the base. The gem is on the deck, stolen by Rubik's Courier. Now that fortification was off, Ramses can just continue doing his main mission of hitting buildings. Waiting for the creeps to catch up, though.
We haven't spoken about it, but Blizzy has an Orchid, a Heaven's Halberd, and a Sight of Vice, but it still feels like he's doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's... well, it feels like the Lycan's doing so much running around in the fights, you know, trying to avoid Depresskid, trying to avoid the damage that comes out, that he's not really being able to use the utility that he's being given.
Yeah, the wolf is definitely not at your door. He is astraled right now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Conqueror at least finishes off that Satanic, so that's going to give him 4k health, which is, you know, fairly nice in these fights to try to stay in the lifesteal as well. Being able to get yourself right back up to full health. But HYDRA, they're still fighting for potential playoff lives. As Dream... How's he looking in terms of net worth? Okay, I said about him keeping pace. He's absolutely not. He's fallen a little bit more behind now. And in terms of items, okay, he has the Pentarite Sword, which is going to be a really nice power spike for him. But what can he do when he's being controlled? That's what he can do.
Rapier. Yep. If only it still gave True Strike.
Yeah. But I suppose...
I like the decisiveness. He's like, frick it. Nothing is gonna make me strong enough to fight the Dusas, so I'm just gonna buy a bloody rapier.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen him blow up FNG in one shot. He got close to taking down the IO in one shot now as well. Speaking about going down in one, they take down Zayat. Zayat does have that buyback available, though. FNG trying to move himself away from Dream. Dream, the telekinesis comes through from Muka. He bought that shard, so he is going to be able to save the life, or at least one of the lives of Dream. Now, but you can see Medusa just wants to come in with a Swift Blink, trying to do whatever damage he can. The Hex is going to be there, though. Ramses gets dragged back into pretty much no aggression, because you see Depresskid on the back lines absolutely blowing up heroes. That's going to be the death of the Rubik here. No buyback for him. So what else can CIS Rejects do? The Astral Imprisonment does come out. Ramses doesn't want to give up putting pressure on this base just yet now as well. Dream trying to go in with the right clicks, needs to be really darn careful. That's going to be 1 life. Can they make it 2? Ramses with the Stormgaze. Dream pops his BKB. There's going to be a runaway here from the Wraith King as the fleet starts to come in here from Asgold. But Ramses, he's just going to say, this is now my base. This is where I'm planting my flag. So the tips come out. Okay, and Ramses, what can they do up against this Medusa with the Aegis for the next minute or so?
Still, yeah. It's not just one Dusa that they cannot kill. It's two Dusas that they cannot kill.
Like you said, he went for the Agadam's Blessing as well, so that Mystic Snake, anytime it connects, is going to throw a mini Stone Gaze. So everybody needs to be careful. They blow up the Kunkka. He's dead for 98. No buyback. He's 75 gold away from being able to do it. Gem is on the deck now as well. Ramses, he's looking to, like I said, just make the space his. It's going to be potentially, well, it's not going to be Megas, because there is still a ranged Rax with 200 health, but CIS Rejects can just say, right, okay, we'll move down, and you have to stop us from doing this.
Yep, and that's it.
And Ramses just again staking claim to the tier 4s. Dream the back lines. What's he going to be able to do here? Apart from be banished, he's going to be dragged back now as well. Has that reincarnation once again, but if he gets himself too far out of the base, too far away from the rest of his team, he's going to go down once. Will he be able to go survive himself, get himself back into the base as the Wraith Fire Blast comes up? But Wraith King not going to be able to connect though with the Astral Imprisonment to save the OD. Dream, he dives in, he's going to be able to get the E-Blade off now as well. The silence comes through, they get him with the Sanity's Eclipse. Rapier is on the deck. Are they going to give it over to Ramses? Void Spirit picks that one up. And now Asgold, yeah, the GG is going to be called, and CIS Rejects take this game in 2. They move through for a replay up against HYDRA at least.
Looked easy for CIS Rejects. Felt like they were in control the entire time.
Yeah, throughout this entire 2-game matchup, it never felt like CIS Rejects were outside of the driver's seat.
Yep. And 1000 GPM for Ramses. His family can be proud. But yeah, I fully take responsibility for jinxing this, because I tweeted, this could be the most exciting matchup in Division 2 history. And then, of course, it's a 2-0 stomp.
Okay, well, we'll give the HYDRA players your address and they can come and deal with you personally. But that is going to be it, guys, for Division 2. There is going to be some Division 1 action. Hang around for a few minutes. We'll see if we can get an interview, and then we'll swing through into Division 1 after this series. So stick around, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, but hopefully we'll be able to get an interview with one of the CIS Rejects players. We'll see you in a bit.